Welcome SRA Nation, welcome to Sim Racing Alliance GT3 Main Series Season 16.
It's going to be a wonderful race here tonight. We got some great action here.
He's gonna look on the inside. He's gonna dive. There's a Mercedes. Oh no!
I mean, these two drivers side by side, it's not going to be, it's exactly what you want to see behind you. Spins his wheels, and that's going to be prime time attacking opportunity.
Oh, and he's going to try to stick it inside.
Oh, no contact. Oh my god!
And we're off and away for SRA.
Hello SRA Nation, and welcome to a new season. We are up to Season 17. We are currently going to be watching Division 5, Round 1. We are at Indianapolis, my favorite track, and I know it's also my co-host's favorite track. I'm Trey Morgan, and I am joined in the booth by my brother in crime and in racing and in real life, Mac Morgan. Mac, how are you doing today?
I think I'm doing all right. You're right, this is my favorite track, and it's your favorite track, and that means we're gonna be glazing it the entire stream, and you, viewers, can't do anything to stop us.
Yeah, I know that there's a lot of drivers who don't necessarily like this track because of how slippery it is, but we will get into the track more in a moment. First, we're going to go over our season calendar for this season, and Mac, go ahead and walk us through this amazing lineup. Actually, no, I'm going to.
Yeah.
Or you want to?
You go ahead, I don't mind.
All right. Well, I'm excited for this. So, as we stated, we're starting at Indianapolis. Obviously the best track ever, greatest track in motor racing. But next week, we will be going to another American track, Watkins Glen. Another amazing track. It's raced a lot by NASCAR, and that's what it's mainly not quite built for, but that's certainly what it feels like it's for, because it's got a lot of not quite sharp corners, but it's a lot of fun. And then race 3, we go to Barcelona, a really good F1 track, a really hot track that should be good for racing, and all of 3 of our opening tracks are really good for racing. But then we get into the fun part of the calendar. So race 4, we're going to Zolder. All 3 tracks ahead of that track are wide open. Zolder is very much not wide open, and not only is it a tight track, it is also a night track. So that'll be a fun to do. Race 5, we are then going to Europe, or we're continuing in Europe with Imola, and that is going to be a fun race because we are doing something in SRA that we have never done before, and that is a real-life weather race. So basically, whatever weather it happens to be at Imola racetrack the day that we race it, that's what we're racing in. It could be 60-degree weather. It could be snowing, although I don't think we can simulate snow in SRA.
No, we can't get below about 50 degrees Fahrenheit, or around, I think it's 10 degrees centigrade. So we won't be able to get lower than that, but we'll get it pretty cold. Pretty cold.
All right. Yeah, so after Imola, we're going to Snetterton, which will be a variable race. Or variable conditions race. That means it might rain, it might not rain. We don't know. It'll just be whatever it happens to be. And then we go to South Africa with Kailami. That is going to be another real life conditions race. However, unlike basically every single other track on this list, where it's in the northern hemisphere, Kailami is in the southern hemisphere. So there, it's summertime, and we will be in the blazing hot sun probably. Or a monsoon, I'm not sure which, but we will find out. And then for week 8, we go back to Europe for Red Bull Ring to round it out with a fairly easy track, at least comparatively to some of these others. Mac, obviously we like the first race, but what do you think of this calendar?
I think that this is going to be a very interesting series of races. I mean, we're starting off the season with a number of good tracks. I think Indianapolis, obviously, best track in the game, speaks for itself. No, for real, Indianapolis is a very interesting track to start on. Because I think we could see a lot of chaos at it, especially with the way Turn 1 is. Indianapolis is a very unique circuit in a lot of ways. One of the ways it's unique is that you got these enclosed walls on either side of Turn 1. So if you miss your braking point, there's nowhere to go to evade. You're just hitting the person in front of you. You know, there's some things you can do. I actually had some fun the other day when I missed my braking point, unfortunately, but I managed to avoid hitting the car in front of me by ramming my car into the wall and leaving a skid mark along the wall, trying to slow my car down a bit more. So, but on top of that, it's a very slippery track. The surface is just weirdly slippery, so not sure why it is like that. I think it has something to do with the way it was scanned, but that's, you know, that'll be really interesting to see how Indianapolis works out in that respect. But yeah, we got the track map excuse me, up for it right now. So into Turn 1, as I mentioned, you're enclosed on either side because it is a roval. It is an oval that has been converted into a non-oval track, and so you got that outside wall, the oval there, but then you got the wall of the pit lane on the other side down that entire front straight. All right, and that's interesting, and it's a slow corner. It's I think one of, if not the slowest corners on the track, and you're coming into it with such high speeds, hard braking zone, best overtaking spot on the map, on the track. And then immediately followed after that, you've got a slightly higher speed Turn 2, which is really important to set up properly, because you have to make sure that the you gotta set it up in Turn 1, and then Turn 2 has to set up turns 3 and 4. Especially turn 3, and it can be difficult to do that at times, but it's not always I'd say it's not the biggest challenge on the track. Heading into Turn 4, that is a decently fast, but still not very fast right-hander. You don't brake for Turn 3, but you do for Turn 4. Not too much, but just enough. So it's really easy to brake a little bit too much, lose the rear, and wind up drifting all the way through Turn 4. And of course, at Indianapolis, with how long the pit lane is, you really want to save your tires, because like you want to be able to have as much flexibility in when you pit as possible. And if you are destroying your tires, that's not good. And with how slippery Indianapolis is, destroying your tires is really easy. We then go through Turn 5, flat out, as we enter into Turn 6, which is a long and slow left-hand corner, full 180 degrees, but it takes forever to get through it. Usually you'll double apex it, but it does kind of depend on what car you're in. But it's also really easy to lose the rear through there. That's going to be a common thing through here. It's easy to lose grip in the rear or in the fronts, depending on what car you're in, which cause you to slide, and then that'll cause you to lose tires, lose your tire life, and that's never good. And then immediately after that long, slow left-hander, you get Turn 7, which is this right-hander that exits onto the second longest straight on the track. And this is a really important corner. It sets up your exit onto the back straight into Turn 8. So you have to make sure that you aren't going to destroy tires or anything like that. But you also need to make sure you get the power down, because if you don't get the power down, you're sitting duck into Turn 8, which is another good overtaking point. Turn 8, hard braking zone into a left-hander that then leads into the S's. If you manage to get ahead after Turn 8, you'll usually manage to keep that, because through the S's, it's hard to hold multiple lines, so you wind up getting constricted into one corner, so it's a great overtaking spot for that reason. And through those S's, it can be really hard, again, to keep the tires planted. This is a recurring thing around this track, managing to keep up your speed without causing your tires to go out. And once again, we have another longer right-hander in Turn 11, exiting onto a flat area, just like Turn 7. That's super important to get the power down without spinning your tires, without sliding. It's all over the place, and then You'll go through the flat out turn 12 into another hard braking zone of 13. And then that's another decent overtaking spot. There's really not much space to set it up there, but because of how difficult the exit of turn 11 can be, it's still a really great spot to try to set up your overtakes at. So it can happen there, but there's also a lot of crashes at turn 13. It's the last overtaking point on the map, on the track, last real one. And so if somebody's like, oh, I need to get this position, race is almost over, they can sometimes go for, we'll say, optimistic dives into turn 13, which more often than not end in disaster. And then after turn 13, there's an equally slow corner of 14, which is, again, super important, but not, it's a very different challenge to what you see in turn 7 and 11, because it's a slower corner, and so it's a lot more about setting up your exit. You can take a wide entry into turn 14 and set up a good exit, but if you do that, you're leaving yourself open on the inside, and then, you know, somebody could try to dive in there, and if you go to the inside, well, you're not open on the inside, but now you're not going to have as good of an exit into turn 15, which is flat out ideally. Sometimes there's a little lift depending on what car you're in, and it can be it's a dicey corner no matter what car you're in, because it's just on the edge of being flat, especially under full fuel and race conditions. So getting a good exit onto it from turn 14 is super important, because then turn 15, if you have to back out of the throttle, now you're sitting duck down the entire pit straight into turn 1, the best overtaking spot on the track.
Yeah, this track certainly has a whole bunch of twists and turns, both literally on the track, but also literal in how you have to take some of these corners. Also, to anyone paying attention, this is not the Indy layout that NASCAR and IndyCar use. So whenever they were trying to scan this track, NASCAR was racing there, I forget if it was the day or the week before, and so there's supposed to, instead of turns 5, 6, and 7, there's supposed to be a chicane that goes between the straights, between turns 4 and 5 and turns 7 and 8 here. So it's supposed to be just a little chicane there. But NASCAR decided that they didn't want that, and so they destroyed the chicane completely. They ripped up the curbing, and so that's why we have the loop instead of just the normal chicane there. And so it really does change how the track feels, because it makes the passing zone into turn 8 a lot harder to pull off properly. But it's a really fun track. Like I said, Mac and I, it's both our favorite track, and so we hope that the other drivers driving with us today will also find it good. But we're going to quickly go over some of our drivers here, or most of our drivers here today. So since this is a GT3 Team Series, all of our drivers are supposed to be in teams with at least one or with another person. Now, sometimes if you can't find a driver that you want to drive with, then it won't work out properly, but we're going to go through the teams here. So our first team is Vice Simsport with Gordon Shumway in the McLaren 720. Our second team is Men in Black 992s in the Porsche 992, and that's Alan Leung and Peter Jacob. Our third team is Top of the Bell Curve Racing in the Ford Mustang with Brad Morath and Dick Zipperburn Jr. Or sorry, that's Senior. Junior is in D1 or D2. That's my bad.
I believe D2.
Yeah. Our fourth team is Green Squad Racing with Danielle. I believe it's Danielle or Danielle Roberts and Prodigy Dawn in the McLaren 720 Evo. Then it's Delaware Rowers with Brad Bertram and Aaron Kovac, and their livery is amazing. We will show it to you once we get out on track. The next team is Rocky Mountain Racing CM in the Mercedes with Jason Whitwim and Thomas Kiss. And then next we have another Mercedes team, Gray and Bricker Driving School with Lanu Gray and David Bricker. Then we have Baguette's Racing Team with Matthew Bayadin, I believe, and I'm going to Americanize it. It's Clement Laurier. I'm sorry. I know that's French. I don't speak French. I will improve by next stream if you point it out to me, or if you want to ping me with how you pronounce your name correctly. Then next we have a solo team Max Yang, sorry, in silver Barrows. And then we have Aerodynamic with Daniel Beckstead and Daniel Martirano. I should have gone through these names before we did this, shouldn't I?
What was the name? Sorry, I got the pronunciation guide up. So you did get Clement Laurier correct.
Hooray!
I believe.
It's Team 10, Daniel Martirano. Or Martirana, sorry. So,
yeah, they do not have a listing in the pronunciation guide. So, drivers, if we mispronounce your name, we're sorry. Correct us after the race. We'll definitely make sure we get better. But also, add your name to the pronunciation guide. It's super useful for the commentators to make sure that they're able to get your name right.
Yep. All right. So after that, we have Team 007 with Jeremy Ran and Marlon Abubo in the AMR V8 Vantage. And the next one is the Bad Ones with Paulo Reis and Quinn Jetter in the Ferrari. Then we have TC8 Racing Team 1. I assume that means there's other TC... Oh, there is. Okay. It's the next one. But that Racing Team 1 is Alejandro Garin, I believe, and Ian Gilchrist. And then we have TC8 Racing Team JD, or Racing... I wonder why they did 1 in JD. That's not how you count. But that Racing Team JD is Juan Ospino and Daniel, I believe it's Builes? I'm not sure. And then the next one is Wreckham Racing in Hunter Lau and Mason Hall, and I really hope they don't wreck them all, but you never know. The next one is the Randoms with Carlos Clayton in the BMW M4. The next one is High on PSI with Joshua Hooker and Denny Scarborough in the 296 Ferrari. And then we have 617 Racing with Shane Sullivan and Joey Van Winkle in the M4. And then we have a few more solo teams. So we have BMS with Christian, I believe it's Durksen, but I could be wrong, in the 296. Then we have Black Dog Racing with Stefan Pellerin. And then we have LaManna Racing with Jackson LaManna. Makes sense. And then Jason...
Christian Dirksen.
Okay. My apologies. And then lastly, we have Jason Yu in Team JHY. Which might be his initials, I don't know. But he is in the Porsche. So that is all of our drivers. We will cover them more in detail as we watch them out on track. I'm trying to figure out who our first guy out on track is right now.
252, car 252.
All right, so we will go ahead and show them
Load in.
right now.
So this is our driver that's first on the track right now. So the silver drivers are out now in their qualifying. They're just about to finish their first hot laps. So I guess we took a little bit too time talking about Indianapolis. Well, I did warn you at the start of the stream.
Yeah, you did.
So, but we're going to see the drivers get to line. We're going to see who's going to be at the front to start with. I am certainly looking forward to seeing how this goes. Do you think there are any drivers we should look out for here in silver?
Yeah, so there's a few. The guy that we're watching who just took provisional pole with a 138.8, Matthew Bayadin, actually is topping the leaderboards for the hot lap time with a 137 flat. Now, obviously, his current time is nowhere near that, so I'm expecting to see a lot of improvements. But yeah, there's something...
Definitely a driver to look out for. There's also Daniel Martirana, I believe that is. I'm going to see if he has a pronunciation guide.
I think we checked that during the walkthroughs and didn't see any.
Okay, well, Martirana is what I'm going to say. And then there's also Zipperburn Sr., Zip Sr. I think he's another one to keep an eye on. He's fifth currently. I don't believe that we've seen Martirana set a lap time yet.
That would be correct. They are currently on an invalid lap, so I think they might have gone out late or invalidated their first lap. Yeah, so all of our silver drivers are trying to set lap times. I I think I forgot to change my settings so that I could show you the track condition. But Mac, are we at optimal track or are we just at fast track right now?
We are at optimum right now.
Ooh. Well, unfortunately, Zipperburn won't be able to take advantage of that on the grass. He probably wants to keep it on the track there, but...
He's still on a valid lap, and I do believe he's on an improvement as well.
Not anymore.
No, not anymore.
We will switch
but
the camera off of him.
There are a number of drivers that are on improvements right now. Dirksen, who we talked about earlier, in P2, currently on a 0.2 improvement, enough to take away provisional pole from Bowden.
Yeah, the issue is that Bowden is right. I think that's Bowden right ahead of him.
No, that's Laurier right ahead of him. Might be Bowden's teammate, not sure.
Yeah, I believe that's Bowden's
definitely
teammate.
Getting stuck behind another driver on your qualifying lap, super unfortunate. In SRA during qualifying, you are not allowed to overtake. It is it's important that we to keep a fair thing. As now we see Dirksen back off. He's going to try to create a bigger gap and then go again. He's still got enough time for, I believe, 2 more runs, assuming he can get a go on. And that should be more than enough time to get an improvement, assuming he's able to keep the car on the track and not have any major issues.
Yeah, so right now our biggest improver is the guy we're watching right now in Hooker. Give me just a name and I'll find out his first name. Joshua Hooker. And he is currently, well, his best lap was 5/10 back from Bowden, but he's currently on a 1 second improvement. So as long as he doesn't get impeded by the driver ahead of him too much, he should be able to set a really good lap. And if he's close enough to the driver ahead of him, he might get a really nice toe down the back straight. Now, with him going off there and having a little bit of a slide job, I don't think he's going to get quite the massive improvement that he was on for. But he still will improve by about 7/10, yeah? So...
Oh, and Jetter, the driver ahead of him, takes pole position.
So yeah, we got a very close battle here between Jetter and Hooker. Jetter with 8 thousandths of a second ahead of Hooker for that silver provisional pole.
I don't think we can count Bowden out, though. He's only 2.5 tenths down, and he is on an improvement. It was bigger than it is currently. It seems to have fallen just a little bit. But I don't think we can call him out, because as I say that, he improves again, back up. I think that he's definitely still in the hunt for the pole position here.
Meanwhile, Martirana, yeah, he takes pole position by 1.5 seconds. He's set a time of a 1:36.5. That is insane. That's like D3 times, right? Yeah, that's that's a D3 time.
That is an insane lap time.
Yeah, so the D3 reference time is a 1:36.7. The times that we would expect our D5 drivers to hit would be somewhere between a 1:34 or a 1:38 and a 1:37, and he has completely blown that out of the water. So amazing job there to get that. I don't think anyone in the silver will really be able to challenge him. I know that Bowden had a much better lap than that in his a much better lap than he has on the board currently, and he improves now to P3 with a 1:37.8. But I don't know if he'll be able to find almost 1.5 seconds to take that provisional pole away. And I don't even know if there's anyone that's going to be able to take pole away in general.
No, that's an extremely strong time. That's promotion territory right there. I don't mean to wish it upon anyone. I've experienced promotions before myself. It can suck, but in my opinion, as long as it happens like after round 1, if you get promoted after round 1 and you just immediately, you get one drop race anyways. So that just means round 1 is your drop race. You're still fighting for a decent championship standing if you get promoted after round 1. So. We'll see whether or not that happens. There's some drivers, myself included, back when I first joined SRA, who are really fast on one lap, but just over a full lap, they just can't hook it together.
I'm not sure what happened here with, I don't know if that's Builes or I don't want to call him bullies because that sounds rude, but he just kind of slowed down to a stop there. We are getting close to the end of the silver qualifying, so our drivers only have essentially the lap that they're on to improve their lap times, as Dirksen goes back to the pits with a 137.6. Martirana is improving. Bayonin just took P2, and he is now half a second clear of Dirksen and half a second off of Martirana. Martirana did improve, I think, to a 136.5, but not by much. And Zipperburn Jr. is now trying to improve on that 6th position. He's senior. Ugh. I will get it eventually. Just, I'd say slap me, but you can't.
How many times have people called you Mac and me Trey in the thing? I think we can forgive ourselves for messing it up once or twice.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's going to be a lot. Yeah. So Zipperburn Senior coming across the line with a half-second improvement. That will put him up to about P4, and it will be P4. So amazing job there. And then there's a Mercedes there. Yang, I believe that's who it was, that just finished his lap to improve up to 13th. And so while we wait for our gold drivers to come around, I'm going to go ahead and look at the chat here. So Sean Paul, you throwing up in your mouth because we like Indy. I don't know what to say, really.
That's like a hater.
Yeah. And then the official SRA person loves Watkins.
I do believe that is Jess who is talking from SRA there. But yes, Watkins Glen, absolutely one of my favorite tracks alongside Indy. Most of the American tracks I like. Believe it or not, the one American track I'm not particularly fond of is the one with America in its name, Circuit of the Americas.
See, that's just because you're wrong.
We might agree on some stuff, notably Indianapolis, but we are not fully in agreement.
Yeah. Yeah, so we are currently
looking
watching.
At the gold drivers.
Go ahead.
I think they're about to start their laps, right?
Yeah.
Who's that in front?
Yeah, so Bertram is the guy in front, and we will go ahead and go on board here with his lap. We've been watching his livery. He is one of those guys that I said I really like the livery of. This is the... I know that their team name in the bottom right says Hounds, but his team name is the Delaware Paddlers or Rowers or something like that. I'll have to look at it again.
Delaware Rowers. And you can see that they have the crossing of the Delaware painting on the side of their car, and it looks amazing. But we're going to go through this lap. We've already gone through most of Sector 1, but Mac, if you want to talk us through the rest of the lap. Yeah, so here we are on the exit of turn 4. So that corner was really important to not slide through, and they didn't. Taking a bit of curve there through turn 5. Now they got to brake, and bring the car around. He's going a little bit wide there, but he's keeping it on the track. Not the ideal line, but it works. He's got a brake there. He didn't quite get all the way to the curb, and now he's got to get on the power, get a move on down the straight, heading towards, I believe it's turn 8 if I recall correctly. Yes. And you're hitting the braking zone for turn 8 right about in here. Of course, the Ford with good brakes, he's able to hit it a little bit later than I'm used to. Going through the S's, trying not to lose grip, but you got to keep it close to the edge of the track to set up for the next corner. Pretty good job through there. Little bit late on the power, I think, out of turn 11 there, through turn 12. Long, flat corner, setting it up. Wants to make sure that he's far enough alongside for the braking zone at turn 13. Gets it stopped, gets it turned, and now he's setting up for his exit down the front straight. Goes a little bit wide on the exit. Wasn't able to get on the gas as soon as he wanted to, but he's in the Ford. I don't think it matters all that much.
Yeah, so the Ford being one of the favorites cars before we added the restrictor plate to it, so now it doesn't have quite the same engine grunt as other cars, but it's still super fast. He comes across the line with a 139.5. I believe this is Marlin? Yes, Marlin coming across the line with a 138.5, which is really good. Stefan Pellerin coming across the line with a 137.5. And Jacobs just ahead of him with a 0.512. So we've got some good competition here. I do expect that after a couple laps, the drivers will be able to set better times. Beckstead just set a lap of a 137.952. I don't know if anyone will really be able to catch Martirana, but we will have to wait and see. As Stefan Pellerin had a little bit of a yellow flag moment. I'm going to quickly see what this was. So he just went deep. And then got out of the way for, I believe that's Jacob ahead of him, yeah. Little bit of an impediment there, but so unfortunate, but not the worst thing in the world. Scarborough, sorry, has set a 138.7, and Ian Gilchrist set a time of a 138.9. So we're really close down here in some of these places, but we're looking to see who can try to take that top spot away. Ian Gilchrist is currently on a 7/10 improvement. That won't put him up in pole, but it will shoot him up the timing boards. As I believe that was Bertram, improved to a 137.9, so a very nice job there.
Another driver to keep an eye on, at least for right now, is Sullivan, who's on a nearly 2-second improvement coming to the line. He's down on 28th, but that 2-second improvement, that'll take him up to 19th.
Yeah, 139
good improvement,
flat.
good improvement. And he looks like he might be improving on the next lap as well, but we'll see, we'll see.
Yeah, also improving coming through the last corner is Morath. He's up on his last time by about 1.25 seconds. That should jump him up to somewhere around P10, P11. So very nice job there. No, other than there's no real people challenging for pole position. Stefan Pellerin is up about 1/4 second on his best lap, but he still needs to find a second if he wants to try and get that pole position.
Yeah, we saw Peter Jacob go up for just a moment before he lost the time again. Based on his position on track, I think he might have braked a little late into turn 6 and gained some time in the braking zone, but lost it through the corner. But he is on a minor improvement, I think, as he goes through the S's, but not enough to challenge pole. But, you know, he is something like 0.05 of a second away from Pellerin. I think 0.04, 3.5, something around there.
Yeah, he definitely still has time.
Very tight spot for that second row. As long as both of them stay in the second row, I think they'll be happy, but definitely some pace to find there.
Yeah, so one of the other drivers that people were cheering for in the comments, Jeremy Rand. Mac, you were teammates with him for a little bit. How do you expect him to do today?
I honestly, so I think Jeremy Rand's going to do pretty well today, not going to lie. Jeremy has always been a driver, in my experience, who is very consistent. Even when he's not the fastest driver on track, he's a consistent driver. He'll hit his lap time pretty much every lap, and he's not going to crash. And that is an important thing to keep in mind. I don't mean to curse any of the D5 drivers here, but this is Division 5, the lowest division. These drivers have a lot of skill in them, no doubt, but there's also a lot of skill that's left to be extracted, and in that case we can oftentimes see mistakes and crashes that happen unforced here in D5, and it's going to make it so that, at least to an extent, these races are a battle of attrition, a battle of, you know, making sure you last long enough. Back when I was in D6 and D5, I crashed all the time. I think my first race in SRA, I think I spun on my own, completely on my own, about 3 or 4 times. And so, you know, some of these drivers, this is their first race in SRA. They're new to the ladder, and so those kinds of mistakes are to be expected. And Ran doesn't typically make those kinds of mistakes, and so by winning that battle of attrition, I definitely think that he's going to gain positions in the race, no matter where he qualifies, and I don't think he'll be qualifying all that bad.
All right, so you heard it here first. So Beckstead had an issue. I'm not exactly sure what it was, but he wasn't able to get back around a certain lap. So he is done in provisional P3. There's a few drivers behind him that look like they might be improving, but not by much. It's really just a matter of who can get in a new lap, because I know that, especially at a track like this where you're sliding everywhere, as we see Bertram bail out of that lap, especially when you are sliding around, you need to try and take care of your tires, and when you're qualifying, you're not worrying about taking care of your tires. So you may have it set up to where your best lap isn't your last lap, but it might be your middle lap. So a lot of these drivers might not have anything left in the tires to attack. Are you able to see how hot the track is?
Hot the track is? I think I can pick that up. Track temperature is 33 degrees Celsius. Ambient temperature 25 degrees Celsius. So it's pretty dang toasty out there right now.
Yeah, definitely not the worst that we've seen, but far from the best. Jeremy Ran is currently on a valid lap. He's up by about 0.2 of a second coming in to the last
as you
sector.
say that.
Okay, I'll switch to someone else and let him finish his lap, and we can come back to him in a moment then. Right now, Scarborough is coming through the back straight and will be coming on to turn 8 here in a moment. Jeremy Ran, I believe, is getting ready to cross the line. I apologize to Jeremy for cursing you.
Commentator's curse still an improvement. I believe he did jump up a spot, but not as much of an improvement as it could have been. But still, a good qualifying session from Jeremy, from all these drivers. I think of the big improvers we have left, I think Lung is the big one, coming out of turn 11 right now. As I say that, he loses a bit of time. Oh, it's my turn for the commentator's curse. But he is still about 0.2 up, heading into turn 13 now.
Oh my. Someone took out all of those.
Somebody did take out all of those. I also just noticed that. He's managed to gain some time back, improving, heading to the line. With a 0.2 improvement, he could, I'm not sure, he might be able to take 13th. There's a big gap between 14th and 12th right now. But he might be able to take position. Doesn't look like
wasn't
it,
able
no.
to. So yeah, our two last drivers on track that are improving are Whitwam, who takes out a massive amount of curb there. He has a chance to jump from P19 up to about P15. And then Van Winkle, just behind him, just invalidated the lap by sending it down the inside. So unfortunately, he messed that up.
Whitwam loses a lot of time on the exit of the corner there. Manages to make back up a decent amount of it just from the engine. Must have had an issue on a previous lap. But yeah, this is the qualifying order. So we got a silver front row here for round 1 in Division 5. Believe it or not that uncommon.
Yeah, especially for D5, where some of these new drivers might not know exactly how good they are. But we will be back in just a moment for the grid walk to go over our drivers and their draft positions. But first, we're going to get a word from our sponsors.
A huge thank you to our SRA sponsors and title sponsors for supporting us here at SRA, as well as support from Documise, a modern business solution for product management. Go to documise.com to learn more today. And support from Retro Saga, a North American-based gaming company that provides accessories for your favourite classic systems, including Nintendo, Sega, PlayStation, and much more. Enhance your retro gaming experience today at retrosaga.ca. And a big thank you to our affiliates, Track Racer. Experience redefined gaming with Track Racer's high-quality sim rigs and accessories. Use code SRATE at checkout to support us. Armamentario, a toolbox for ACC that will enhance your chance to win. Enjoy a fully customizable and enhanced HUD to change the way you experience ACC. AT3D Sim Shop. Upgrade your sim racing experience today with premium 3D printed accessories featuring precision crafted magnetic shifters, sleek cable management solutions, versatile stream deck mounts, and immersive dashboard displays. Their innovative designs enhance performance and style, elevate every lap with top tier quality and craftsmanship at at3d.net. Go Setups, premium esports setups for everybody. Use our affiliate link on our Discord and take your drive to the next level. Castle and Cauldron, a home-based crafting business specializing in handmade Harry Potter, Fantastic Beasts and Fairy World collectibles. Magic wands, potions, mini dioramas, wall decor, costumery, cosplay, and much more. Castle and Cauldron is where crafting meets the magical. Visit facebook.com/Castle Cauldron. And from KP Concepts, your source for custom automotive renderings, graphic design, and printing. We spend countless hours making you look all good for the spectacle. Check out kpconcepts.com for more.
All right, welcome back. We are going to go through a grid walk here, starting with Matarana. But first, I want to point out an additional person that I want to shout out for, as goes with sponsors. Travis Tatro created a livery management thing specifically for Sim Racing Alliance called Park Ferme Studios. And he did an absolutely amazing job. He's still working through some of the kinks because he's essentially created it in like the last month or so. With a whole lot of work building it up from scratch, but he did an amazing job making it.
Massive shout out to Tatro, definitely.
Yeah, so we're going to quickly go through our grid here. We're going to start with our P1 driver, technically a silver driver, but especially in D5, you never know who's actually super fast or super slow. For those of you who don't know, our gold drivers are supposed to be like the front half of our grid, and our silver drivers are supposed to be the back half of the grid, ideally. But obviously, there's going to be some chaos week 1. But yeah, so Daniel Martirana gets P1. In P2, we have another silver driver in Matthew Bowden. In P3, we have Daniel Beckstead. In P4, we have Peter Jacob. P5 is Stefan Pellerin. P6 is Paulo Rice. P7 is Brad Morath. P8 is Ian Gilchrist. P9 is Christian Dirksen. P10 is Dick Zipperburn Sr. I got it right that time. P12 is Marlon Abubo. P13 is Brad Bertram. P14 is Alan Leung. P15 is Jason Whitwam. P16 is Jeremy Rand. P17 is Juan Ospina. P18 is Danny Scarborough. P19 is Quinn Jetter. I'm going to go to Helicam here for the moment. P20 is Daniel Builes. 21 is Joey Van Winkle. 22 is Alejandro Guarin. P23 is, I believe it's either Daniel or Daniel. I believe it's Daniel Roberts. P24 is Lenu Gray. P25 is Shane Sullivan. P26 is Gordon Shumway, who's unfortunately had livery issues. I'm not entirely sure what's going on, but we're not able to, he's been having issues trying to upload his livery. P27 is Max Yang. P28 is Prodigy Dawn. P29 is Mason Hall. P30 is Hunter Lowe. And P31 is Clement Lawyer. Or I pronounced it correctly the first time. Is
Lawyer?
Lawyer?
Lawyer.
Okay.
It's not listed. I believe it's Laurier.
Okay. Well, I will hope that's correct. But we are getting just around to the beginning of this lap. Mac, how full of chaos do you expect this to be?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, we've got walls on either side heading into turn 1, so all it takes is one person making a mistake, missing the breaking point, and we could see a bowling effect down the entire grid, but let's hope that doesn't happen as we go green. Yeah,
we are green. The Porsche up the front of Matthew Bowden gets a really good jump, but we are 3 wide coming into the corner. Almost 6 wide. We're 4 wide. Okay, we're keeping it mostly clean here, I think, through turn 1, which is and just as I say that, that is Van Winkle who just spun. There's somebody off the road, that is Quinn Jetter, who has unfortunately come back onto the track and hit somebody else. Oh no, that's really unfortunate there on that rejoin. But Matthew Bowden gets the jump on Daniel Martirana, and he gets that position. Hooker has gained 4 positions there, and he looks like he could gain a couple more. Oh no! As Stefan I believe it's Pellerin and Beckstead come together. Beckstead, trying to get back into the racing line, or racing. That is a really unfortunate start for him. I'm not even sure what happened there.
Nor am I. Super unfortunate. Not sure if we'll be able to get that in the replay. I don't think so. Oh no!
Marlon! I'm going to quickly replay this just because
Yeah.
just a little hit in the back.
That's
There's also
unfortunate.
another wreck, yellow flag moment between Belize and Shumway. Shumway is at the very back of the pack now, and he has a lot of damage, so I'm not entirely sure what that was. But meanwhile, up the front, we are side by side going into turn 1 with Martirano on the inside, and he's passed him already before the braking zone. So it's just a matter of where he can hold it.
So when it comes to the engine mappings,
Sorry,
oh
go ahead.
no, is that Hooker?
Yeah, Hooker managed to get back on the racing line, but he went way deep into turn 1 and lost 2, maybe 3 positions. Okay, just 2 for the moment.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, so much chaos here on the first couple laps. I do see we have a driver stopped. Gordon Shumway was stopped off in sector 2, I believe it was, there at the end of the straight, and he's just disconnected from the server. Super unfortunate.
Yeah,
Now we see Scarbo. I'm not sure what happened there.
I think he's having some sort of connection issues with the way that he's jumping around. I'm going to check my ping.
Yes, he is having connection issues now that you mention it. His ping is really high.
It is. So, yeah.
But I believe we have some side by side with Van Winkle, and I think that's Lowe heading into turn 8 there. It's like Van Winkle on the inside trying to make a move. They're still side by side, but Van Winkle does clear. I believe that is Lowe.
Yeah. And Jeremy Rand just lost a place to Gray coming into turn 8, but we missed it. There's a big wreck here with Leung sideways and Roberts taking to the motorcycle road. I'm going to quickly replay that here. Not entirely sure what happened.
Really?
So that happened ahead of them. So Leung got hit by somebody else and turned sideways, and I think he's finally moving again. Yes, he is, but he dropped all the way down.
I believe that was Pellerin who hit him. I'm not sure on that, but Pellerin with front end damage. It was an orange front engine car, and Pellerin is in a Ford orange livery. I think it was him, but not 100% sure on that. But
yeah, so
well, we'll leave it to the stewards to figure out who it was and wasn't.
Yeah, so Dick Zipperburn Sr. lost a position to Hooker, and he's going to lose another position to Rise. There's another yellow flag moment between Roberts and Gray. Don't cut too much of the track. You might get disqualified. There was an incident there, I believe, through turn 3, probably fighting over room on exit. But they managed to keep it going. Grace just finally getting off the grass. Zipperburn Sr. just got passed by, I believe it's Rise or Reese. I'm going to get flamed for mispronouncing all these names. Reese. We'll go with Reese. Or Reese. Good enough. Leung now getting passed by Roberts, possibly? They're fighting there side by side into the turn. Leung manages to hold him off with the Porsche brakes versus those essentially non-existent McLaren brakes. A very nice job there. Scarborough just got past Laurier, but Laurier is going to fight back here into turn 13, or at least he's going to try to, but he doesn't have the top speed. Makes a little look to the inside, but doesn't do anything.
It has been chaotic. I knock on wood. I think things have calmed down. We'll
Don't
see.
say that yet. Don't say that.
knocking on wood right now. Knocking on wood right now. But your first pitter, Beckstead, probably due to damage, just wants to pit early. But something I do want to call attention to, we've seen all this chaos. I mentioned earlier for Jeremy Rand how I was kind of looking at him and I was kind of thinking he might do pretty decent. All these cars have damage, but Jeremy Rand's car still looking clean. There's no damage on it. He's managed to avoid the incidents that have happened around him, and that's put him in a good spot. So hopefully he'll be able to keep that going. Hopefully he'll be able to do well.
Hold the brakes.
Oh no! Oh my goodness, that was almost really bad.
Oh, so he got hit in the back. That's unfortunate. And
man.
And then he tried to rejoin. And then he almost spun back. There's a whole bunch more yellow flags up here. There's 4 yellow flags. I don't know what happened. I'm gonna quickly go to the
Dawn?
helicam.
Prodigy Dawn.
Yeah, so
It
there's...
looks like somebody might have missed their braking point into turn 8 there. I think you have the replay going right now, so we're gonna see if we can figure out what happened.
Oh.
Yes, just barely missed the braking point, spun around, and then looks like something else happened behind.
Yeah, and that's a separate incident between, I believe that's.
And then when did
Senior.
Prodigy Dawn get involved? Because he got involved with it, and then.
Yeah, and Laurier is also sideways. There's a whole my respect for Jay Queasy for trying to wrangle this chaos in D6 for so many years has dramatically increased. But right now, Sullivan trying to make a dive on Zipperburn Senior with a little bit of a hard love tap there into turn 1, but he's not able to take the position. That was a bit more than a little bit of a love tap. That was quite a forceful love shove. Yeah, but he kept the position.
Gray and Jetter? I think Gray may have gone off the track a little bit further back. Not sure. Goodness, the chaos. Meanwhile, our top 2 from the qualifying of Martirana and Bowden are still up there at the front. I don't think there's damage on either of these cars. They've kind of just said, you know, everyone behind, you can squabble over those positions, fight each other and whatnot. We're just gonna go drive off into the distance, and they have done that. There is a 6-second gap from P2 to P3.
Yeah, if you want to take bets as to who may or may not be promoted to D4 from D5, use it on those 2 people. As Ian Gilchrist gets past low into the corner. And Hall behind has a yellow flag moment. I'm going to quickly look at what this is. I think it's that he may have missed the braking point. Yeah, so he went a little deep into the braking zone. Not that big of an issue, but still unfortunate. Gray and Jetter, as soon as this replay is over, are going side by side through turn 14. And Laurier is trying to get into that mix. Jetter gets away from Gray, and now Laurier's also gotten away from Gray. I don't know if Gray is having issues or what, but he looked really slow coming out of that corner. But he will have a chance now to try and get back at that Porsche. The Porsche does not have any straight line speed. Please don't wreck him. No. Oh. Meanwhile, there's another unfortunate incident with Scarebro. Ooh. Almost running into the back of him, but thankfully he's able to slow down in time. Unfortunately, he's still sliding around. I think he's gotten back on track at this point. Yes, he has. But lots of opening chaos here at Indy, which isn't surprising, especially with this track, because the main straight is 4 or 5 cars wide, and turn 1 is only like 2 cars wide. As there's another yellow flag here at the back, but I won't focus on that too much.
So there's a whole lot of fighting for position back there, as we see Abulo and Dawn fighting it out over down here for P22. Yeah, up at the front, we've got about 2 packs up at the front. There's a 2 fighting for the lead up front of Bowden and Martirana, but then behind that you've got a group of 3 cars, Jacob, Dirksen, and Moraf, who are right on the edge of a podium. And you know, with Martirana and Bowden possibly getting moved up out of Division 5.
Oh my!
Not here. Oh.
Lots of chaos here. Little bit of bumping and shoving as Abubo gets all the way through a double overtake after a little bit of contact there between Laurier and Dawn. So amazing job on capitalizing on that, and he will keep that position as Dawn tries to fight back. Please don't hit anyone. Oh.
A bit of a contact there, but you know what? It seems like oh my goodness.
Comparatively, that's not the worst we've seen.
Garbo there is terrifying with his ping. I hope he's able to figure out what's going on with that ping, because that is... He's crooked through every corner on my screen.
Yeah, it's a little bit interesting there. Yang having a little bit of a moment.
There's a melee going on with Yang.
Yeah, there's also...
Oh my goodness.
some cars, I don't know, ACC Race Control, the program that we have to help us control the cameras and whatnot, is freaking out at the moment, and I'm not entirely sure why, but
it's looking fine for me. Maybe restart it. I'll keep an eye on it while you restart it.
I just want to watch this side-by-side action between Garn and Yang.
Something else you might want to take a look at is Dirksen right on the back of Moraf. I think Moraf just completed an overtake. Dirksen now following right behind, but keeping an eye on the main screen. Trey?
We are 3 wide, or at least we were 3 wide through turn 15. They have slightly spread out after a little bit of contact there, so people are probably trying to have to lift. But yeah, meanwhile, Jeremy Rand trying to overtake Zipperburn Sr., but not able to do so because that Mustang has legs.
Got brakes and it's got an engine. Very difficult to overtake that Mustang.
Yeah, you gotta force them into a mistake somehow and hope that they get far enough behind that they can't get into slipstream, because if they're in your slipstream, they will overtake you. Meanwhile, there's a yellow flag moment here at the back between Laurier and Scarborough. I'm gonna quickly look at this. This looks like it was into turn 1. There's more yellow flags that I'm seeing, but I'm not sure. Oh, I don't know.
Completely. It seems like you just.
Yeah, that might be a lag issue.
Might have been connection issues.
I'm gonna hope that's what that was, but yeah, because it looked like he released the
Garin
brakes.
and Van Winkle into turn 8 right now, side by side. Long right there too. Oh, it's there. They are. 3 of them right next to each other. That could have gone really badly, but it looks like they managed to sort it out. Rand manages to get around Zipperburn. I'm not sure what happened. We missed it.
Oh, I'm gonna replay this. Oh, Zipperburn went deep.
Oh,
into turn 8.
That is how you do it. That's how you do it. You force them to mistake. One of my that's one of the main tactics when it comes to racing. You force them to look at you, not their breaking point. And it looks like Rand may have been able to pull that off there.
Yeah.
I mentioned earlier that I'm looking at Rand and I'm kind of optimistic about how Rand could finish, and we've seen that already. He qualified around 15th. He fell in the beginning of the race because he was being cautious, but that cautious driving kept him out of wrecks. And now the drivers around him are making mistakes. He's already up to ahead of where he qualified. I think that's only going to keep going up for Rand.
Yeah, he's doing really nice so far. To answer the question in the chat from Chris, Jetter is currently sitting in what position? In 19th place. He's not doing too badly right now. I don't know how far he's moved up or down.
Got a lot of damage, I believe.
He's actually right where he qualified, so not doing too badly considering all the chaos we've seen so far today. Yeah.
Biggest mover on track, upwards mover, is Sullivan in P11. Up 14 positions from where he qualified.
Oh my. Van Winkle having quite the wiggle there. Out of turn 7, trying to get that power on to take on Zipperburn Jr., but not able to find it. Just behind them, Garin trying to protect the inside from Leung. He's protected it so far as Hooker has a yellow flag moment, and he's sideways through turn 13. It's actually backwards.
What on earth?
I believe.
Did he lose it? He didn't get contact. Might have just taken too much curb. Too much speed. Try to get on the power on the grass. That'll do it, especially in the Ferrari. Ferrari can be a little tricky on the grass.
Yeah, there's not many cars that have good traction on the grass. We don't drive rally cars here, so there is that. But yeah, our main battle right now is between Zipperburn, Van Winkle, Garin, and Leung. And Zipperburn had an issue coming through the last corner. And so we are now going to almost a 3-wide turn 2, but Van Winkle isn't going to be the one to capitalize on it. It's going to be Garin, as long as he can hold the outside, and he does. He goes a little bit off track there as Leung gets shoved off to the side.
Oh, that could have been much worse than it was.
Yes. But yeah, so...
Oh, I was so worried for Leung there.
Yeah, don't worry. There's still more danger to come. It's he's side by side with Van Winkle. He gets past Van Winkle cleanly. And now Leung trying to fight against Zipper and Senior. Meanwhile, just a little bit ahead. Sullivan got past Ospina. I'm going to quickly replay this and see if I can figure out what happened. So Ospina just went a little bit deep there. And that's very easy to do at that corner.
Yeah. Turn 6, I believe that is. Yeah, turn 6, super easy to just go a little bit deep or take a little bit too much speed and slide as you go through it. As oh my goodness.
Van Winkle tries to dive. Does not work out. Scarborough had a little bit of a yellow flag moment, but I'm not sure what it was. He's going straight now, and he has someone right on his tail. Going a little bit under the grass. There's a little... Oh, no!
Oh, no! Was that more contact?
That was more contact for Dawn. Prodigy Dawn gets rear-ended and then isn't able to correct it before getting slammed by someone else. Meanwhile, Jetter trying to overtake Van Winkle here for P19. He gets him into that corner, and as long as he gets a good exit here at a turn 14, he will have it down the straight, and I think he'll be fine. A little bit ahead of there, Leung and Zipperburn Sr. are side by side coming down the main straight.
I think Zipperburn has damage because he's so slow on the straights. I mean, he's in the Mustang. The Mustang is the king of the straights, just behind the Lexus. But you know, it just seems like he's been having issues on the straight line. I mean, looking at his car, you can tell there's a lot of damage. I think that damage is severely impacting his straight line speed. It's making me wonder if he might try to go for an early pit stop to get that repaired.
Yeah, it's very possible. Now with that restrictor plate, he doesn't have quite the same straight line speed that he used to in that Mustang, but he still does have a good chunk. So we're going to keep our eyes here for a little bit just to make sure that nothing crazy happens. But our drivers are beginning to spread out with a track this long. Ooh, Zipperburn Sr. getting a little bit squirrely there. He's going to go side by side into turn 8, and he doesn't have the ability to do anything here. He's going to go way deep on the brakes. And so he's going to lose 2 positions there, possibly even 3. There was a yellow flag for Hooker. He's lost a position to Sullivan and Reese. Not entirely sure what happened. Ian Gilchrist also lost a position to Scarborough. I'm not sure that that's accurate. I think Scarborough lagged back and then lagged back forward. Because there's a number of drivers that were around there. So. All right. But I do see a change of place between Hooker and Ospina. Yeah, Hooker is
into the pits.
And then just a little bit behind them, Van Winkle trying to get the jump on Yang. The BMW does have really nice straight line speed, but it doesn't have good acceleration. So it's just a matter of can he keep in that slipstream long enough. And it looks like he might be a little bit too far back, especially with Yang in the slipstream now of Zipperburn Sr. Oh no!
What?
Oh, way deep on the brakes.
It's gone from bad to worse for Zipperburn Sr.
Oh no!
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw DNF from that. That's unfortunate. As we see, I think Van Winkle leaves the race server. I believe. I do not blame him. That was not
sucks.
great. And of course. Now Zipperburn's got to join in a not great spot. I do not want to rejoin on the apex of turn 2 there, and he's got to try to keep it going. He's going to have so much damage.
Yeah, he's going to have to
immediately into the pits. Immediately into the pits. Oh no.
Yeah, if you look at the rear end of how much damage he has, his bumper is falling off. So yeah, he's definitely going to need to pit, and his rear tires are going to be cooked. Meanwhile, up near the front, Stefan Pellerin just lost a position to Rees as Whitwam doing donuts in the grass there. I believe he just had an issue there with turn 13 and the exit of that. Stefan Pellerin has a lot of damage on the front of his car, so he might need to try and get that repaired in the pits. But we are 20 minutes into this race, right at the beginning of our normal pit window. So what do you think? Ignoring damage, which we have a lot of, unfortunately, what do you think the pit strategy is for this race?
A pit strategy? Well, it's really going to be heavily dependent on how you end up with the cars around you. With Indianapolis has a super long pit lane compared to its lap time. I think one of the longest pit lanes in the game, I do believe, right up there with Spa, which also has a really long one. Misano also has a decently long one, but this one's definitely longer than Misano. So I think there's a yellow flag in turn 13 for 939.
Yeah, Zipperburn Sr. still having issues with the rear end of that car. Not his fault. I'm really hoping he goes into the pits.
There's an incident. Turn 7.
Ooh. So I think they just got spun around. Yeah, so...
Oh no, is that Jeremy Rand's?
Oh.
Is that Rand's? Oh no, that was Rand that got into that. He did so good to avoid incidents, and the driver just spins ahead of him. There's nothing he could do to avoid it, but hopefully he didn't get too much damage from that, and that might cause him to draw into the pits early, which might work out, might not.
Yeah,
as I was saying with the pit strategy, it's interesting here as we see Ran going side by side with Guarin into the corner. Ran not wanting to be as... Oh my goodness!
That is a dive and a half.
Oh my goodness, Lung. That could have gone really bad, and there was contact. That could have gone so much worse, as I do believe we see Rand jump into the pits. So as we're watching Rand jump into the pits here, I'll go ahead and make my comment that I've been trying to make, but D5 has been so rudely interrupting me.
Hey,
with the pit strategy here, that is a good point. The pit strategy here could be interesting. You lose almost a full lap on a normal pit stop. Almost a full lap, which means that when you make your pit stop, you need to be really careful to try to make sure that you don't come out in lapped traffic. Because since you lose a full lap pitting, you're almost guaranteed to end up in lap traffic if you're not at the front of the pack. And so a lot of times when it comes to pit strategy, it's about looking at where you are on track and figuring out where you're going to come out relative to the other drivers and trying to make sure that you don't get blue flags coming out in the pits, because those first 2 laps after you come out of the pits, you're going to be super slow on cold tires. That's one thing we didn't mention about this track earlier, with how slippery and slidey it is, as there's another yellow flag I see going through the final corner. Not sure what that was. But as you're slipping and sliding, you'd think, oh, well, tires must be overheating, right? But those, and they do heat up a lot, but those first 2 laps, it's the opposite of heating, because you have to keep your tires cold to make sure that they are able to heat up and be in the correct operating window. So at the start of that stint, before you've slid around, they're super cold and you are super slow.
Yeah, so like he was talking about, tires going to be a major factor here, especially at Indy, where tire wear is everything. Now, of course, I think especially with some of the chaos we've seen today, keeping out of damage is also going to be everything. So we'll have to see where everyone is once they come out of the pits. Meanwhile, Leung trying to get the jump on Guarin. He doesn't quite have the straight line speed that the Ferrari does, but he does have slipstream. So it's a matter of, does he have a low enough wing to take advantage of it? He doesn't want to try and overtake. Ooh, little close there on the brakes to that rear end as Guarin goes off track. I don't know if there might have been contact there. Might have been a little bump and run. I'm not entirely sure, but he does go off track and Leon gets the position.
I don't think there was contact, but I'm not fully sure. I do believe Rand has come out of the pits, and I think he's come out right into a pack, which is exactly the thing you're trying to avoid. But I do believe that's happened to a number of drivers, and I do think the pack that he's in is at least on the same lap as he is. I think so. Yeah, maybe not.
Say there's a pack. There's a pack that is pitted, has pitted. That's kind of close, or that's close to him, but. You know, so the person behind him is a lap behind, and the person ahead of him is a lap ahead. So he's okay at least at the moment and where he is.
Yeah, I think the driver that's behind him there might be Zip Senior. Super unfortunate what happened to him. Hopefully it'll hopefully he'll have a better race next week.
Yeah, thankfully he did get
Watkins
repaired.
Glen. He's in the Mustang, so he should enjoy Watkins Glen.
Yeah, and he did get repaired. So, if nothing else, he at least has a more fun car to drive for this second stint.
Yeah. Looking for battles right now. I believe Roberts and Guarin are now right side by side with each other. Neither of them have pit yet, but we've got 5 minutes till halfway through the race. Especially here in D5, I find that most drivers just wind up pitting at about the halfway mark. It's a nice, safe option, and with how high the tire wear is around here, a safe option is can often be the best option depending on your circumstances, because you don't want to be on super worn tires when your opponents are not. So pitting around the halfway mark guarantees that your tires are never get too worn in either stint.
Yeah, looking a little bit further ahead, Whitwam has spun coming through. I believe that's turn 7. Thankfully, he's pointing the right direction, but he is going to lose at least one position to Sullivan and possibly another to Leung behind. No, he's got enough time behind it. He should be okay.
I think I might have seen something happen to Ran there. I'm gonna see if I can get a replay going on that. See if I can figure out what happened to Ran. I thought I saw a momentary yellow flag for Ran.
Yeah, I didn't happen to catch it.
Yes, he lost it on the exit of 6. Had to take a long way around turn 7.
Ah,
But
unfortunate,
not too much damage. No damage. Didn't look like he scrubbed his tires too much. So hopefully he'll be able to be fine for the rest of the stint.
Yeah, there was another yellow flag for one of the back markers, but for the moment, I'm going to at least let them keep their dignity for the moment.
Oh man, what a race this has been so far. We're only halfway through. So much has happened. Goodness gracious. I feel like I'm going to lose my voice at this rate.
Yeah, that might be an issue for you, because you actually have class.
Who's that? Gwarin
loses. I don't know if I think he lost it there in turn 1. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what happened there.
Could have damaged or overheated rear tires.
Hey, he's not pitted yet, so it definitely could be his rear tires starting to go. We are right at that pit marker time. Meanwhile, we have... I really don't want to come up with nicknames for the man behind them right now. And I believe that's Jetter. No, that's not Jetter. Who is that?
Scarbo, the driver that's having connection issues?
Yes.
In P12?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I want to come up with a name for how
I tell you
slight
what,
he is,
I'm looking at it right now.
Mm-hmm.
He might be doing a bit. No, never mind. I thought I was gonna say he might be doing a bit better. No, he's not doing better. He is not. Hopefully, he's able to fix those internet issues because, goodness gracious, it is entertaining watching this car go around track because we know that he's doing a fairly decent job of driving, but his car does not look like he is.
Oh no. Meanwhile, I'd like to point out that our lead driver has pitted. So we'll have to wait and see where he comes out.
Oh, it's a red flag or caution for
red flag.
Shumway. Shumway rejoined the server. Sorry, caution, yellow flag. My bad. But Shumway appears to have rejoined the server and then spawn and left again. Super unfortunate.
Yeah, sometimes you just have races that don't go your way. I know that my first season in SRA in D6, or my last race, I did really good in qualifying. I was looking forward to the race, and then turn 1 got taken out. It's really unfortunate, and then compounding errors from there that I made by myself because I was mad at what had happened. And so I definitely understand some of these people who are having not the best race, quitting just for their personal sanity sometimes. But it's also nice to see some drivers fighting it out. Like Zipperburn Sr., he's had a whole lot of issues with people hitting him, unfortunately, but he's still in this race and he's still driving around and he's not doing too terrible given the circumstances. Meanwhile, Jeremy ran another one of the drivers who's had not the most issues, but he has had some issues. He's doing a pretty good job. There's a yellow flag for Ospina. Ooh, might have had an issue here coming through. Yeah, so turn 13.
Super easy to lose it in this section of corners. Such a fast ordered entry. It can be hard to hit the brakes at the right point because there's not really a very good marker there, and then you carry a bit too much speed, you get on the gas, and then you're spinning off into the grass. And as we see, I think Ospina almost got stuck there in the marshal's post.
Yeah, not something that you want to do there. Meanwhile,
one thing I am curious about is, so we've seen go ahead.
I was just gonna say, we're watching Ian Gilchrist was really close to the back end of Gwarin, but he still is pretty close, but not quite as close as he would want to try and make an
Oh,
overtake.
race leader Bowden into the pits.
All right, so we will have to see where he comes out in relation to Mortarana.
Now, I'm keeping an eye on Mortarana right now. Mortarana going through turn 6 right now, through to turn 7. As we said, you lose like nearly a lap on the pit stop. But you know, if you don't have damage, it's not quite there. It's 2 sectors, which is still like a significant amount. But you know, just a little bit of damage can mean you lose like an entire lap, or if you mess up your pit timings a little bit, it's nearly a full lap you lose. And so, Mortarana going through the S's right now. Oh no!
So that was Garin, Gilchrist, and I think Yang, but I could be wrong there, having some issues. Mortarana, thankfully, far enough behind that he didn't get caught up in that, but that's
he did
really...
get impeded, and he did almost hit one of the drivers that wrecked there. I'm not sure which one it was he almost hit, but it was very close. And that is good news if you are Bowden, who I do believe is on the move now. Yes, heading out of the pits. I don't know if he'll get out ahead as we see Maratana onto the straight. We're going to see if he zooms past Bowden here. I believe he will.
Yes.
I think it'll be close. Yes. As there we see Martirana go right past Bowden, who's now on pit exit.
Yeah, so...
And of course, Bowden will be on cold tires. He'll probably be slow for a couple laps. Hopefully, he'll be able to keep it on track, though. And fresher tires, he might be able to catch up. We'll have to see.
Yeah, he's about a 5-second gap back from Martorana, but not... I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I really hope we get a good, nice battle at the very end, but we'll have to see. Meanwhile, Jetter, oh no! He spun off. Ooh.
Oh my goodness, that is a terrifying...
Oh.
I've definitely seen that happen before.
He avoided the wall, though.
That's a lot of speed to be carrying out of that onto that grass.
Yeah, he
Super
managed...
lucky to not die.
Yeah, he managed to avoid the grass, so very nice job there. What is that on the front of his car? I can't see. Is that a nose?
It might be a nose. I'm really not sure. He's got the Wario livery. It might be like one of the Wario buttons. You know, he's got buttons on his thing.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know. Either way, it's a pretty nice livery. There was another yellow flag for Dawn. I think it was... I don't know if it was a full spin. Not a full spin. Very nice catch there to not hit the wall. So very nice job there. I'm looking up.
I believe we only have a handful of drivers who have yet to pit. Lung, Pellerin, Dirksen, and Gray, I believe, are the only ones yet to pit this race.
I believe that's correct. Yeah, we've only got 2 battles going on right now. One of them is between Reese and Hooker. Oh no!
Oh no, he just lost it on the exit of turn 7. Little bit too much gas, got onto the grass, and just slid all the way across the track. I don't, he's lost 2 positions to Abubo and Scarborough, but, so managed to keep it going, managed to keep it vitally out of the wall, but still, those tires, with how important tires are on this track, that's not going to be great.
Yeah, especially this early into the stint. We've got another 25 minutes to go in this race. And so there's a lot more time for these drivers that have to stay on this set of tires. Meanwhile, Dirksen and Stefan Pellerin are into the pits. So we only have one more driver, and that's Leung, actually, who Leung is also now coming in pits. I backed off from this Hooker battle too early as they're going side by side. As Hooker takes a little too much curbing there. And he's going to lose about a half a second to Reese ahead. But he will still be right behind him as we go through the S's. So very nice job there to make sure he didn't spin when he went off track. I'm looking out front now. Martirana has a 9-second lead over Bowden. So big gap there. Scarborough and Abdullah, or sorry, Abubo. Why do I say Abdullah? I don't even know.
I have no clue where that came from.
Yeah, I don't either. But anyway, Hooker is really close with Reese here. We will watch Abubo and Scarborough here in a moment. But first, I want to see this move, or attempted move anyways, down into turn 1. It'll all really depend on setup. Because if one of these drivers has like 1 click less rear wing, and then they'll have a really good shot into this corner. They're about 2 tenths away from each other, so just please don't hit each other in the braking zone, and they don't. Very nice job there. Meanwhile, Roberts gets passed by Scarborough. Oh, no! Scarborough gets absolutely punted.
Scarborough lagged into, I think it was lag. I don't think Roberts was able to see where Scarborough was. I mean, I was watching this on my own stream from the heli-cam, and you can just see that all of a sudden Scarborough just kind of appears in front of Roberts. I really hope Scarborough is able to fix his connection issues, because we've seen them cause multiple incidents at this point, these connection issues, and it's super unfortunate. Nobody wants these connection issues to cause problems for racing, and hopefully that'll be able to get solved for Scarborough for next race. I do know that sometimes ACC will literally just glitch out and give a random driver plus 100 ping for no reason, so I do wonder if that might be what's happened here, but this seems a lot even for ACC glitching out. So
yeah, I don't know. It's an unfortunate situation to be in, because there's really not much you can do to fix it on your own unless you want to spend a whole bunch of money on a new internet provider.
Oh no, Hooker and Dirksen.
Hooker with an absolute bump and run there on Dirksen. You would hope he might give that position back, because that would save him on penalties, but he does not, so we will leave that up to the stewards. Speaking of which, to any drivers watching, make sure that you use all of your driver's tickets if you are watching this.
If you need to.
Yeah, obviously.
I think many of them will need to, based on the amount of incidents we've seen, though.
Yeah, I almost think they'll need more than what's allotted to them for some of these drivers.
But yeah, it is imperative that you report incidents, and like, we know it can sometimes be a thing where like, well, I don't really want to have to make a thing. Like, I kind of feel bad, don't want to do it. The only way that we can get our, we can hold each other accountable and improve the standard of racing is by making sure that mistakes in racing do get punished. And it's unfortunate that it happens, but I'm saying this as somebody who has gotten some harsh punishments in the past. It absolutely is a driver to improve one's racecraft, and
oh my
goodness.
Hooker tried to dive to the inside. I was wondering if I needed to go to a wider shot, but no, I think that one was perfect. But yeah, so Hooker absolutely sending it there up the inside, and unfortunately not getting it, and now he's side by side with Stefan Pellerin. Pellerin on the inside for turn 13. He's going to have it as long as he doesn't get bumped. Ooh, that's a really dangerous move, and that's why. Oh, that's really unfortunate for Stefan Pellerin, because there's no really way. Yeah, there's just no real way to sometimes properly defend attacks like that, because you either let them by or you both make contact, unfortunately.
I think we have a side-by-side between Laurier and Prodigy Dawn on the front straight heading into turn 1. This is near the back of the pack, but there's still points available down there. Could be the difference in a championship fight.
Turned in from argy bargy to elbows out, unfortunately there. But yeah, but also one thing I want to say, we are not trying to say that any of these drivers are bad. It's just that they're more inexperienced for a lot of the cases. When you're new to sim racing, you sometimes don't really know how to react in situations, and so for D5, it's kind of like your learning opportunity. Not much that happens here what can't be fixed. Now, if you're intentionally crashing into people, then you will have issues, but I don't think we have any intentional wrecks here.
I haven't seen that. I think I've seen that in SRA once before, and it was harshly punished, and goodness, that's a little close there for Hall, looking at low. But yeah, I don't think that I've definitely not seen any intentional incidents today. This is all just, inexperienced drivers being inexperienced, making mistakes. I've made many of my own mistakes on my sim racing journey, and all of these drivers will, and all of them, if they put the work in, they will improve. I look forward to seeing many of these drivers rise up the ranks.
Yeah, a lot of these drivers will turn into our future D3s, D2s, maybe even D1 drivers, but everyone's got to start somewhere. Not everyone can start out as good as Anton.
No.
As much as I would love it if I could, it's not how that works.
It's not quite how it works.
Yeah, but you got to get experience somehow. And as Jetter, unfortunately, goes a little bit wide there, takes out one of the markers. I do expect that a lot of this racecraft will be a lot better by the end of the season, just because they're getting back into the swing of things, and you have more experience to pull from as for how you want to race your other drivers. Because a lot of this, not only is it just you don't want to get penalties, you also want to make sure that you're respecting the other drivers on track, because they will race you how you race them. And you want to race respectfully.
Yeah, there's definitely massive elements of that where knowing how different drivers around you race can help you to know how to treat them, and they'll know how to treat you. And then other things like that, like as you mentioned, it's kind of inexperienced drivers. They will get more experience, and they will make these mistakes less often because they get punished in the stewarding tickets. So again, please make them as, oh my goodness, Whitwam and Sullivan. Oh my goodness, that was very nearly a massive incident.
I'm going to watch this since you were talking about it. Oh my. Very nice avoidance there from Sullivan. I kind of doubt it from the timing session, but I hope Whitwam would maybe give that position back, because that's one of those incidents where if you take the corner like you're allowed to do per the rules, you both die.
That was very good avoidance from Sullivan. Good awareness to know that what's the phrase? Graveyards are filled with people who had the right of way.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah. Meanwhile, looking ahead up front, Martirana has an 11-second gap now to Bowden behind.
Oh my goodness, Sullivan. You just cut away from Sullivan right as he misses his braking point to turn 1.
Of course I did.
Almost clobbers Whitwam right back.
Well, that's one way to get the position back. I'm going to quickly replay this. Oh, yeah. So, again, really good avoidance from this time Whitwam. But looking back to Martirana, he's 10.5 seconds up the road from Bowden, who is 10 seconds up the road from Jacob, who's 10 seconds up the road from Morath. But Martirana's fastest lap is a 1:36.8. And that's like 3/10 off of his qualifying time. So he's definitely moving up to D4 very quickly.
Oh, yeah. This happens, I think, just about every season in SRA. I commentated round 1 of Division 5 last season, and we had Cletus Spuckler win that race, first race in SRA. He wound up getting moved up to Division 4 Silver, and then I believe he wound up winning the Division 4 Silver Championship, and I believe he's in D3 now.
Yeah.
So that's just how it goes in D5. There's a bunch of drivers who who haven't put in much practice before, and maybe they don't put as much time into the hot stint because, and I get it, hot stints can be boring. You don't race people in hot stints. There's less stakes, and so then they don't put as much time into it, so they wind up with a slower time than one might think, and then they start doing a whole bunch more practice for the race because the race actually has stakes to them. Oh my goodness! And pushed wide. Oh,
at least he puts them back straight again.
It was inevitable.
Yeah.
It was inevitable.
Yeah, so like the optimal braking point in qualifying trim for most of these cars is going to be a little bit ahead of the 400 board, so like around 410. In race trim, especially when you're in the slipstream, you're normally going to want to brake around the 500 marker, especially for these drivers who maybe aren't absolutely perfect in how they take corners, and he definitely did not brake at the 500 marker. Or even the 400
We've got
marker.
a yellow flag for Boolies. Buelis?
I don't know.
Not sure what happened.
Yeah, and there's also
we got another one there for Laurier.
Laurier. That's what I'll call.
Laurier, somewhere along there.
I don't know. Hopefully they ping me later to tell me how wrong I was, because I want to fix myself.
Yes. But yeah. What was I saying before we had the yellow flag?
I don't remember, to be honest. But for right now, let's go ahead and look at our biggest movers.
Yes.
Yeah. Hopefully someone in the chat
biggest
will
mover
tell
is Sullivan and Yang, I believe, are tied for biggest mover right now. Both 15 positions up on where they started.
Yes. Very nice
Sullivan
job
up in
from them.
P10, Yang in P12. Of course, we'll see how penalties shake out. There's going to be some penalties after this race. I think one of the divisions up at up in Division 1, which is broadcast on the YouTube channel, there's another stream on here or on our Twitch. One of the drivers has a livery based on how D4 is notorious for having a ton of incidents. And with the way this is going, if this is what D5 is like, I am terrified for Division 4.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping that now that we're in Division 2, we might get to see the smaller side of those sheets. But you never know.
I don't know how the practice race went.
Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see.
See, the 422 has a yellow flag.
Yeah, I think he lost it coming out of he lost it coming out of turn. I think that's turn 11. But yeah, so he lost it coming out of the turn and then tried to do donuts while fixing himself. And there's another yellow flag for Hall. He is turned around at the exit of turn 13. Thank you for not getting in the way of somebody. I really hope he doesn't get in the way of Stefan Pellerin on his rejoin, and he does not. Very nice job there on that rejoin. Not getting in the way of anyone.
Oh. Yes, rejoin is always terrifying, especially in places like that. You're on the inside of a fast corner. Not a great place to try to rejoin, but he didn't really have a choice there, so.
Yeah, meanwhile, the gap out front is up to 12 seconds with a 14-second gap between second and third place. So we might have a few people who are moving up a division.
Our top three are not going to be changing, I don't think. With 10 minutes to go, barring some massive mistake, knock on wood. I'm not cursing anyone this time.
I forgot to mute.
I don't think we're going to see much change up there, but you never know. Things can happen. We could see a disconnect. We could, as I said, see a massive mistake. Hopefully neither of those, knock on wood. Yeah.
Also, I would like to apologize. I muted Discord when I was blowing my nose, but I forgot to mute my my microphone. So you all just heard that, unfortunately. You know, the closest battle on track, there's a couple battles that are kind of close, but the closest one that we're going to watch here is Jeremy Ran trying to get Roberts. He's really close to the back of him, coming out of turn 6, and he's going to have a much better line as long as he doesn't have issues like that of different speeds. He will have a straight line speed advantage, I think, but and a brakes advantage, but I don't know about turning wise. So we'll have to see how this turns out. Nice job through that corner there. Roberts ahead, going a little bit wide. So he might have a chance here coming through this corner to get it either through here or through the next corner into these hard braking zones.
Pretty good exit, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be close enough for anything into turn 13, but he will be able to set himself up for a very nice exit onto turn 14 and the front straight. Yeah, very nice job there, taking maybe a little too much curbing there, but overall perfectly fine, and he will get a fairly decent exit. But I don't think he'll be close enough. He's falling back a little bit.
Oh, he's got a blue flag, and he's going to get out of the way immediately to get that. You know what? This might actually serve to his benefit. We've got just under 10 minutes remaining with a blue flag there. You know, he's if he's able to follow behind closely to that blue flag driver, or at least a little bit closer, then of course the driver that he was just chasing, Roberts, is going to get blue flagged, and depending on how Roberts chooses to concede the blue flag, Rand might be able to get a sizable advantage. He might be able to follow our race leader through with that blue flag. This is a big part of racing. It might seem a little scummy or unfair, but this is racing. This is how racing is.
Also, I want to point out, so we watched it on stream, but Ian Gilchrist in that purple Ferrari had an amazing pass on Ian Gilchrist into turn 13 through turn 12.
Ian Gilchrist had an amazing pass on Ian Gilchrist?
Or on, I believe it's, who is this? Lenu Gray, sorry.
Ah.
Yeah, it was an amazing overtake. That's what I was trying to say. I'm going to see if I can pull this back up again. Yeah. So he went around the inside on turn 12. I think Gray may have just had some understeer issues coming out of the corner, but a very nice job there to get that overtake done. And then a little bit further back here for P20, Jetter is fighting Garin. And I believe they're also having to deal with blue flags at the moment, as Gray looks to have lost a couple more positions because they're now also behind Garin and Jetter. Now looking back up here toward Ran. Ran got very close. He was within 3/10 of Roberts ahead, but not able to get the overtake done. So he will have to wait at least another half lap probably before he can get close.
Well, we'll see. All it takes is one mistake from Roberts in this section right here, and Rand could try to go for a move into turn 8. Roberts gets a little squirrely on the gas, or just turns a little bit too much. You can easily see it, but the opposite happens is we see Rand just gets a little squirrely on the gas, has to get out of it, and loses a ton of time on the exit that he's now going to have to make up once again.
Yeah. Really unfortunate through there, but sometimes it just happens. We are getting close to the end of this race, so the tires will not be in their best position, but he's doing a great job to catch up here through the S's. I don't know if he'll get a good enough exit to do anything here through turn 13, and no, he goes onto the grass. I'm a little bit further back here. Garin and Ian Gilchrist were fighting with each other, and Ian Gilchrist went a little bit onto the grass, and now Garin and Gray, I think that is, right behind them fighting. And now Jetta right ahead of them has a little bit of an oversteer moment, so Garin is going to have the inside line to try and get the overtake done into turn 8. They have it on the brakes. They get squeezed. Very nice job of avoiding contact there. Oh, no, he spun. I don't know if there was contact there from Gray behind or not. It didn't look like it on first glance, but really unfortunate there.
Unfortunately for Jeremy Rand, I think that there's just been a massive cog in the works for his assault on Roberts. We've had a blue flag who's gone in, and Roberts managed to get by the blue flag before the end of the front straight. But unfortunately, Rand is now stuck behind the blue flag driver. So with that blue flag driver between them, it could be difficult for Rand to get around and fight with Roberts for position once again.
Yeah, and right behind them, Beckstead is also fighting with Rand for that P15 position. So even if Rand is able, even if he has the pace to get around the blue flagger, he still has to worry about the person behind him. As Abubo has a brief yellow flag moment, going very deep there into turn 8, almost like he forgot his brakes, but not quite. You know, just ahead, Jeremy Rand, I believe, has gotten past the blue flagger and is now really close, yeah.
Oh, the blue flag with Rand. So there's Jeremy going around the blue flag right now. It's that black Porsche. Tried to fight the position back and take back the position that the lapped position that he had gotten from Roberts. Stewards might have a look at that. We'll see what happens with that, but
yeah, we'll have to see. You know, Beckstead is now stuck with 2 blue flag cars right ahead of him. So that effectively not quite ends his fight with Jeremy Rand, but it does put a severe hamper because he now has to pass 2 blue flagged cars who are fighting with each other for position, I believe.
But one of those two cars is a Laurier, but I believe the other one is oh my goodness, Bowden into the gravel. Our P2 driver into the gravel at turn 6. I just caught that. I'm not sure what happened. Are we able to get a replay on that?
Yeah, I'll quickly get a replay on that. He just went way deep into the corner, I think.
And I believe that's one of the drivers that was following behind Ran. Ran was getting a blue flag from that massive mistake from our P2 driver of Bowden. He's still got a significant gap behind him to Jacob. And there's still a significant gap ahead of him to Maturana. So I'm not sure there will be much implications for the result of the race, but he definitely, Bowden does seem a bit squirrely right now. So
yeah.
Could this be a first of many incidents? I certainly hope not, but you never know.
Yeah. The one issue with the Porsche is that the tires do not last. Because of the way you have to drive it, if you want to get any pace out of it, you have to spin your rear tires like nobody's business in order to get that pace. So it's very possible that he could just be using up his tires. Meanwhile, there's a yellow flag for Scarborough. I think he just went deep into this corner.
Yeah, he braked a little late. Bit more than a little.
Yeah, he only lost one position, so not that big of an issue for him. Still unfortunate.
Not as big of an issue as the lag has been.
Yeah. But yeah, so let's see. Yeah, so there's no really big battles on track at this point. We're going to have, I believe, another lap and a half, because there's 2 minutes left, and Martirano is currently just going through the S's, so they will have to complete this lap, and then I think one more lap, and then that will be it. But in these last 2 minutes, any drivers who are really close to the driver ahead of them is going to be doing everything that they can to try and overtake them. The only two drivers who really look they have a chance are Hall in P24. They're about 1.7 seconds back, and then Jeremy Ran is about 1.9 seconds back. But 2 seconds plus a pass is a lot of time to make up in a lap and a half.
Yeah, but Maturana crosses the line right now to start the final, which should be the final lap if I'm not mistaken. Absolutely dominant race, pole fastest lap. Other than when he pit, he led every single lap. Absolutely dominant performance. I dare say we won't be seeing him in Division 5 next week.
Yeah, it's a very likely possibility.
There's a yellow flag for the 111 right in front of Maturana. Oh my goodness, 111 gets out of the way, but
yeah,
goodness gracious, that could have been bad.
Yeah, there was also a yellow flag for Ospina. I will quickly show the incident with Wheels. That is a very dangerous position to be spun in, especially trying to rejoin the track. But doesn't hit anyone, so does a nice job there of avoiding action. But we will continue to follow
Scarborough into the pits.
Interesting.
I'm not sure why, but Scarborough into the pits. We're past our pit stop.
The pits are closed, aren't they?
Pit window's closed, so
I don't think they have a penalty.
No, I'm not sure, but Maturana, who we're looking at right now, as we were saying earlier, absolutely dominant performance as he's coming through the final 3 corners now, final 2 corners, now entering into the final corner, and he will be heading across the line here in just a moment to take his win. I do believe this is his first race in SRA, and he has won here, and he drives over to the pit wall,
Very nice job.
As is one of the many traditions. Behind, we've Bowden now entering the final corner. Very nice job for Maturano, but I'd say also very nice job for Bowden. He had that one incident that we saw when he was trying to get navigate the lap traffic, but he weaves across the line. Super excited here for the podium. And then our last driver on the podium, Jacob, also coming to the line. And that will round out the podium positions, but there's still plenty more positions down back behind.
Did Jacob just slam into the wall?
I think so, yes.
All right, but yeah, so Marath will take P4, I think. Yes, Reese will take P5. Dirksen will take P6. Hooker will take P7. Stefan Pellerin will take P8 here in just a moment. Leung will take P9. Sullivan will take P10. Assuming that he doesn't lose the position on the last lap. I don't think he will, but it looks like he went a little deep in the last corner, and Whitwam is that blue Mercedes, so he was licking his chops hoping that something happened, but it didn't, unfortunately. Whitwam slamming into the wall, but he comes across the line to round us out. And the last driver, I believe, nope, there's 2 drivers out on track. Yang coming in P13, and then the last driver across, Zipperburn Sr. To round off a pretty unfortunate day, but he does get to finish, and so he will get points. But yeah, so Maturana, an amazing job there. I'm going to quickly get a screenshot so we can do our interviews here in just a moment. But Mac, what did you think of that race?
I think that was chaotic. Very chaotic.
Welcome, SRA Nation. Welcome to Sim.
Wrong one. I clicked the wrong button. My apologies. All right. now I can hear you.
All right, great. I think that was a super chaotic race. There were a ton of incidents there at the start that we saw that had to be navigated, which it's super unfortunate for all the drivers who were involved in those incidents. Hopefully, we won't have that issue next week, or at least not as bad. And hopefully most of the drivers will be able to learn from any mistakes that they had, especially as the season goes on. We'll see less. Obviously, absolutely dominant performance by both of the top 2, Martirana and Bowden. Absolutely dominant from Martirana. Fastest lap, pole position, won the race. As I mentioned before, dare I say, we will not be seeing Martirana next week. I kind of doubt we'll be seeing Bowden next week either, but maybe. But yeah, you'll have to see. They might get moved. They'll likely get moved up into other divisions, and you'll get to watch those divisions as well.
Yeah. So we have obviously D1, D3, D5 today, and then tomorrow we'll have D2 and D4. We're going to wait a little bit longer for some of these drivers to populate into the race chat, and we will see who we can get into interviews.
I do believe I see our P3 driver, Peter Jacob, sitting in there. We could try to pull him up.
Yeah, let's go. We'll go ahead and start with P3. So I will pull him up here. Peter Jacob, welcome to the booth.
Hello.
Hello there. How are you doing today?
Is your mic working? I can't quite pick you up.
You hear it?
There we go. Now I can hear you.
There we are.
All right. So
Wrong
Peter.
ear.
That would do it. So Peter, welcome to the booth. You finished in P3 and the gold win, although funny enough, the gold win was not the overall win, but that's because you had 2 crazy fast drivers ahead of you. But go ahead and talk us through your race and how it went.
It was good. I was able to just, I guess, keep up. It's about the cleanest I've driven for an hour ever. That was good. Yeah, not too many incidents, and just stayed on track, which was important.
Yeah, staying on track is always
important.
Go ahead.
We saw that at least during the first stint, there was a bit of a melee between a ton of different drivers. I can't recall, it was like 4 different drivers there at the start of the race who were all fighting over that last podium position. I believe you were involved with that. Anything interesting happen there?
I don't remember, honestly, but it was fun. The first turn I was very hesitant at, but it seems like I was able to get up into that 3rd spot and then just kind of hold on to it for a couple corners before everything cooled down.
Well, sometimes that's what it takes, you know. Consistency wins races and all that. So, yeah, is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to? Unless, Trey, do you have any other questions?
Nope, just all that.
All right, well then, great. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to, Peter? Shout out for your podium.
Good job to my teammate. I think ended in 9th, 10th.
Who was your teammate?
Oh. Alan.
Alan
Yeah,
Leo?
I think it was somewhere in that range.
Where'd he go? Yeah.
Oh, they might have already left
127.
the server.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, they finished P9. So, yeah. They did a pretty good job, too, so yeah. All right.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
All right. Well, congratulations on your podium. I will go ahead and send you back down to your race review so you can get that done. But congratulations again, and we hope to see you up here again in the podium soon.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's see there. Here we go. All right. So that's him there. Let's see. I see Matthew Bowden.
Matthew Bow. Yeah, Bowden's
Yeah,
there.
so I will go ahead and pull him up in just a moment. Matthew, welcome to the booth.
Hey, thank you.
Hey, so amazing job, P2 finish. Pretty much held the same position throughout the whole race, but go ahead and talk us through how your race went.
Textbook perfect, I would say. I started P2, went P1 for a couple of laps at the beginning of the race. After that, I just kept it consistent. Pit strategy was on point. I came back on track just a bit closer to the guy in P1, with still the same gap with people in behind me. So I felt like I raced alone for most of the race, but it was fun anyway. Like I'm just out of word because I wasn't thinking that I would start P2 and not even less finish P2. So I'm quite happy about my performance.
All right, and then in the closing, I think it was you in the closing stints, you had a little bit of a off-track excursion. I think it was you anyways.
Yeah. I was passing blue flagger, and I don't know why I had like my brakes didn't work. I think I activated my mic to talk in the chat, and it like I don't know what it did, but my brake didn't break. But I had like 13 or 14 seconds to the guy behind, so it wasn't didn't change anything in the end.
All right, so that's good.
Scared me though.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, Mac, do you have any questions?
Oh yeah, it scared us too on the broadcast. But no, I don't have any more questions except for one. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
Oh dang.
It could be a friend, a teammate, anyone maybe that would have been watching the stream.
The guy I'm racing with in my team, Clément, who had like quite a nice race. I think he had an incident though. He said to me that he would have finished 18 or 19, but in the end he finished P26. But for someone that is new with the league, it's his first season in the league. Shout out to him. He's doing great.
All right. Always good to shout out your teammates, because if nothing else, they might be watching. So, yeah. So either way, great race. I don't think you'll be silver for long if you keep up these kind of performances, but hopefully we get to see you up here in the podium again.
Oh, I will do my best to be. Sorry, I missed that.
You might even get moved out of D5, up into D4 or higher, probably just D4.
I was gonna say I don't think we want to get that.
We'll see about that. For now, well, I'll let that to the people organizing the league to if they want to move me up a notch.
Yeah. But either way, great race. Since I don't think we have anything else for you, we will send you back down to the booth. But good luck in your future races.
Thank you. Have a nice evening.
You too.
You too.
See if Discord will scroll for me. There we go. And let's see, Daniel.
I do see Daniel Martirana there, so yeah.
Let's go ahead and drag him up here too. Daniel, welcome to the booth.
Oh, hello.
So amazing job there. Not quite a grand slam overall, but it
Thank you.
Yeah, so obviously you got pole position by a good margin, and then a fairly uneventful race on your part. But go ahead and talk us through how it went.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I felt like it was pretty good. Had a pretty decent quali. I actually, unfortunately, pulled like a Hadjar first lap and binned it on like turn 6 in quali, so had to reset. So that was my only lap that I actually got in, but thankfully it was pretty solid to get pole. But race itself was pretty smooth. Lap 1, I was next to the Porsche. I can't remember who it was, but it tight turn 1, so I just kind of figured I'd let him go through. Got him in a bad corner towards like the second half of the lap, and was able to just kind of like pull away, and pretty much after that was kind of just like smooth sailing. So pretty good race overall. I felt like maneuvering through traffic wasn't too bad either. People felt like they were moving out of the way for the most part within a lap, and yeah, came out pretty good.
All right, Mac, do you have any questions for Daniel here?
I mean, first of all, absolutely dominant performance. You mentioned, you had a pretty good lap as your first lap. That was more than pretty good. That was an absolutely amazing lap. I need to go see if I can find the results for the Division 3 qualifying, if I can, real quick.
Oh, were you wanting to compare?
I'm pretty sure I'm wanting to compare it.
No.
If I can.
Yeah, so you would have been somewhere around P25, P30 if you were in D3. And, which
is pretty respectable.
Yeah, so for better or worse, you're definitely not going to be silver after this race. You might get bumped up to D4, but either way, you did an amazing job today.
Yeah, I mean, it felt pretty good. I've actually, truthfully, I've never raced this track before. So I had done, I don't know, maybe 30 laps, 40 laps this week just to try to get used to it. And I feel like it just kind of came together like yesterday, 2 days ago. But yeah, it's a pretty fun track. There's a lot of technicality to it though, and a lot of lifting, coasting, waiting for grip. But yeah, overall, I mean, it's fun now that I feel like I've gotten a little bit better of the hang of it, but I still feel like those guys in D3 and above are insane. Super fast.
Oh, I felt the exact same way back when I was down in the lower divisions. But yeah, anyways, again, great race. We might see you here in D5 next week. We might see you in D4. We'll see. Great race whatsoever. Trey, do you have any other questions?
I think just our final one. Is there anyone that you would like to give a shout out to? Any teammates or maybe someone who might have been watching the stream?
Yeah, honestly, just shout out to my teammate, Daniel. We used to race together a few seasons ago. I kind of took a break for a while when I was moving, so he got me kind of back into it, and hopefully I don't get bumped out of our division. I'd like to stay with him. So if we move, hopefully he gets a move too, but unfortunately he got crashed out kind of in lap 1, so unlucky for him. But well, yeah,
you might need to throw some sandbags in your car.
That happens to a lot of people, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, I've been there. I've been crashed out lap 1. It's rough, but
yeah. Well, either way, great race, great performance, and hopefully we get to see you again, but we shall see. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and send you back down to your race review.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
If Discord will work properly. There we go. All right, so that was our P1 through 3 drivers. The first interview was Jacob, and then Bowden, and then Martirana, who all had amazing races overall. And overall a pretty fun race, if not very chaotic.
Yeah, I'd say overall it was pretty entertaining. There was almost always something happening somewhere, and really, I feel like that's all you can ask for a race. You know, we always had something to go cut to, some battle that was going on. You know, for some of the drivers, it didn't go very well. There were a ton of incidents at the start, but I think that it's Division 5. It's not ideal that this happens, but it's at least to an extent to be expected. And I think that we'll definitely see it improve as the season goes on.
Yeah, and for some of the drivers, it could be their first time racing in SRA, or for some of the drivers like Mark Arana, they could just be trying to get the rust off after coming back to racing, or they just, you know, they might not put in maybe as much practice as some of our insane drivers, like our D1 drivers or our aliens. So, you know, it's
Arch
to be
comes to mind.
Yeah, so it definitely makes sense that it's chaotic here in the lower divisions, but it's always fun here, and that's what we're here for. We're here to have fun. So hopefully most of the drivers had at least some fun tonight, and I think a good chunk of them did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I think that'll be it for this stream. So this week was Indianapolis, and we had a lot of fun here. Next week we will be at Watkins Glen. So if you want to come watch more D5 racing, please come back. Same bat time, same bat channel. Or if you want to watch more racing with maybe less crashes, but who knows? D1 and D3 were racing today. You can watch them also on YouTube, or you can watch D1 on our Twitch channel. Or you can come back tomorrow and watch D4 here on YouTube. Or you can watch Mackenzie and I as we try and not crash in Division 2 on YouTube or on Twitch. So please be sure to join us again. But yeah, so Mac, do you have any closing thoughts?
Only that this is just the beginning of Season 17. We've seen an upturn in the amount of drivers we have this season as opposed to last season, which is great for ACC, which is of course approaching the end of life. So, you know, there's always going to be racing here on SRA, I do believe. I firmly believe that we'll always be racing here at SRA, so make sure, subscribe, come back later, and watch some more brilliant racing.
Yeah, so this has been a really fun time for the round 1 of Season 17 for Division 5. Again, my name is Trey Morgan, and I've been joined by my brother Mac Morgan in the booth, and we will see you again later.
Have a good evening, folks.
When I was just a new driver, I asked Coach Jeffries, what will I be? Will I be speedy? Will I crash out? Here's what he said to me,